Welcome back to Trivia Goalazo. We've got 50 World Cup questions coming your way, from Uruguay 1930 all the way to the 2026 tournament happening right now. Answer along with us, and let's see how many you can get right. Let's kick things off. Question 1. Which country won the very first FIFA World Cup, held in 1930? Question 2. What is the official name of the trophy awarded to today's World Cup winners? Question 3. Pele is the only player to win the World Cup 3 times as a player. Which 3 tournaments did he win? Question 4. Uruguay shocked 2-1 win over host nation Brazil in the deciding match of the 1950 World Cup, played in front of nearly 200,000 fans, is known by what name? Question 5. Italy became the first nation to win back-to-back World Cups. In which 2 tournaments? Question 6. Which country has won the World Cup the most times in history? Question 7. Diego Maradona's infamous Hand of God goal came against which team in the 1986 quarterfinal? Question 8. Which player holds the all-time record for most goals scored in a single World Cup tournament, with 13 goals at the 1958 finals in Sweden? Question 9. How many nations competed at the 2026 World Cup, the largest field in tournament history? Question 10. Which 3 countries jointly hosted the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Question 11. Italy won the 1934 World Cup on home soil, becoming the first European nation to win the tournament. Which country hosted it? Question 12. The 1966 World Cup, won by hosts England, introduced the first ever official World Cup mascot. What was his name? Question 13. Italy's brutal, foul-filled 1962 group match against Chile became so notorious it earned a nickname. What is it known as? Question 14. The Netherlands' total football side, inspired by Johan Cruyff, reached the 1974 final but lost to which host nation? Question 15. Argentina won their first World Cup on home soil in 1978, beating which country in the final? Question 16. The first ever World Cup match decided by a penalty shootout was the 1982 semifinal between West Germany and France, remembered as an all-time classic. What is that match commonly nicknamed? Question 17. Which country holds the record for the most lopsided scoreline in World Cup history, thrashing El Salvador 10-1 in 1982? Question 18. A player was sent off just 56 seconds into a 1986 World Cup match against Scotland, the fastest red card in tournament history. Who was he? Question 19. Norway's historic 2026 World Cup run has been powered by a viral fan and team celebration where thousands mimic the rowing motion of a Viking longship. What is it called? Question 20. The 2026 World Cup kicked off at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, where host nation Mexico won 2-0. Who were their opponents? Question 21. At the 1990 World Cup, which African nation, led by 38-year-old Roger Milla, became the first from its continent to reach the quarterfinals? Question 22. Which country became the first to win a World Cup final on penalties, beating Italy in the 1994 final? Question 23. France won their first World Cup title in 1998, beating Brazil 3-0 in the final. Which French midfielder scored twice with headers? Question 24. The 2002 World Cup, co-hosted by South Korea and Japan, saw the Korean hosts pull off a stunning run to which stage? Question 25. Reigning champions, France suffered a huge shock in the opening match of the 2002 World Cup, losing 1-0 to which nation? Question 26. Which goalkeeper remains the only one in World Cup history to win the Golden Ball as the tournament's best overall player, doing so in 2002? Question 27. The fastest goal in World Cup history, scored roughly 11 seconds into a match, belongs to which Turkish striker netted against South Korea in the 2002 third-place match? Question 28. Zinedine Zidane's international career ended in infamy when he headbutted which Italian defender in the 2006 final? Question 29. With 48 teams competing for the first time, how were nations divided in the 2026 group stage? Question 30. Switzerland reached the World Cup quarterfinals in 2026 for the first time since which year? Question 31. Which country won the 2006 World Cup, hosted by Germany? Question 32. Spain won their first World Cup title in 2010, held in which country? Question 33. What horn-like instrument became the loud buzzing soundtrack and a source of complaints at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa? Question 34. Goalkeeper Tim Howard set a modern World Cup record with 16 saves in a single match at the 2014 tournament. Which team was he facing? Question 35. Hosts Brazil suffered a historic 7-1 semifinal thrashing at the 2014 World Cup. Who beat them? Question 36. Which player won the Golden Boot at the 2014 World Cup with 6 goals, despite Colombia being eliminated in the quarterfinals? Question 37. Defending champion Spain suffered a shocking 5-1 defeat in their opening match of the 2014 World Cup, payback from the team they'd beaten in the 2010 final. Who inflicted it? Question 38. Germany won their 4th World Cup title by beating Argentina 1-0 in the 2014 final. Who scored the winning goal in extra time? Question 39. The winner of the 2026 World Cup will collect a record prize purse. How much? Question 40. Cabo Verde's 40-year-old goalkeeper Vozinha became a global sensation, his Instagram following exploding from around 50,000 to over 20 million within days. Whose record did he overtake to become the most followed goalkeeper on Instagram? Question 41. Croatia reached their first ever World Cup final in 2018, losing 4-2 to which country? Question 42. Which Mexican goalkeeper became the first player ever to appear at 5 World Cups, spanning 1950 to 1966? Question 43. The 2018 World Cup was hosted by which country? Question 44. Lionel Messi finally won his first World Cup title with Argentina in which year? Question 45. Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick in the thrilling 2022 World Cup final, the first hat-trick in a final since 1966, and Argentina still won it on penalties. What was the score after normal and extra time? Question 46. Which country hosted the World Cup twice in the 20th century, in 1970 and 1986, before co-hosting it again in 2026? Question 47. Which nation is the only one to have played in every single World Cup tournament since it began in 1930? Question 48. West Germany won their third World Cup title in 1990. Beating Argentina 1-0 in the final on an Andreas Brehme penalty. Where was that tournament held? Question 49. Which nation, playing in its first ever World Cup, went unbeaten through the entire group stage in 2026 before nearly upsetting defending champions Argentina in the round of 32? Question 50. Lionel Messi had broken the all-time career World Cup goal-scoring record. Whose record did he surpass? And that's a wrap on today's 50 questions. Thanks for playing along with Trivia Goalazo. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your score in the comments. See you next time for more football trivia.